present. Episode 1. Frozen Treats by Ventura Family and Young Voices Health Expo.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the first episode of our new lunch program, The Vital Force. This program is just a part of our Health Expo series. We have started already our 160 years proven cure for diseases and care for the sick. And we are planning to upload more videos about these topics. For this is really beneficial to all of us. Because this talk all about natural healing. And another program that we are going to launch this year, still under our Health Expo series, is the parallelism of agriculture to health. So, we have a lot of valuable topics to be discussed here in our channel, The Young Voices, Values Education, Music, and Health Expo. And it will be cross-posted in my personal account, Pamela Ventura. So, for today's topic, it's all about the vital force. And the first episode is the frozen treat. Before we proceed to this topic, let us know first what vital force really is. According to Testimonies 138.2, it says, God endowed men with so great vital force that he has withstood the accumulation of disease brought upon the race in consequence of perverted habits, and has continued for 6,000 years. This fact of itself is enough to evidence to us the strength and electrical energy that God gave to man at his creation. So, lahat po tayo, mga kapatid, ay binigyan ng Panginoon ng tinatawag na vital force. And in some lines, ay tinatawag rin na vital energy. It is a life force that sustains life or vitality. An electrical energy na binigay ng Diyos mismo sa paglikha niya ng tao. Ang sabi dito sa Testimonies 138.2 na if Adam at his creation had not been endowed with 20 times as much vital force as men now have, the race with their present habits of living in violation of natural law would have become extinct. At the time of Christ's first advent, the race had degenerated so rapidly that an accumulation of disease pressed upon that generation, bringing in a tide of woe and weight of misery inexpressible. So, it is very clear, mga kapatid, that from generation to generation, yung longevity or life expectancy ng tao ay bumaba ng bumaba po, mga kapatid. From the time of Adam, yung mga tao before the flood, like Methuselah, the oldest man who ever lived, was 969 years. But from the time of David hanggang 70 years old na lang po yung average lifespan ng tao. Pag sobra diyan, ay regalo na po yan ng Panginoon sa atin. So, talagang grabe po yung pag-decrease ng vital force ng tao i-compare natin sa vital force na binigay ng Panginoon sa kay Adam na 10 times, mga kapatid, i-compare sa atin ngayon, mga kapatid. So, kung ating tingnan, they live almost 1,000 years noong unang panahon. But today, yung buhay ng tao ay talagang mas pinaiksi. Yung iba ay 20 or 30 years old ay mayroon ng mga kanser at iba pang mga sakit na halos hindi na maintindihan na makita sa tao. Yung iba ay mayroong 5 klaseng sakit na nasa kanya. Yung iba ay talagang napakarami at napakaraming maintenance po, mga kapatid, sa iba't ibang sakit na nasa kanilang katawan. So, ang temporaryo at maiksi nating buhay ay mas lalong pinaiksi pa. And it has something to do with our lifestyle and the constant exhaustion of our vital force. Ang sabi dito, they are living on borrowed capital. They expending the vital force with which they will need at a future time. And when the energy they have so recklessly used is demanded, they fail for want of it. The physical strength is gone. The mental powers fail. They realize that they had met with a loss, but do not know what it is. Their time of need has come, but their physical resources are exhausted. Based on the book Counsels on Diet and Food, mga kapatid, that God's law is written by His own finger upon every nerve, every muscle, every fiber of our body, upon every faculty. It's God's law that govern our physical organism, and every careless or willful violation of these laws is sin against our Creator. So, because of the constant violations of the laws of health, mga kapatid, it is the reason why the world is full of disease and misery, deformity and sin, by our wrong habit and our faulty lifestyle, mga kaibigan. It's resulted to a constant withdrawal of the vital force. By our action shows that we regarded life as of little value. Yes, mga kapatid. Ang sabi nga, they only appreciate health when they are already sick. Pero yung wala pang sakit, mga kapatid, ang sabi nga nila, kainin lang yung kainin at gamutin lang yung gamutin. So imagine that, yung philosophy ng tao ngayon, mga kapatid. They regarded life as of little value. Then, pag nagkasakit na, ay nako mga kapatid, ay ang sabi dito sa ating binasa, hahanapin na nila ang kanilang hininga, mga kapatid. But they only found is the grave. So, kaya I want to emphasize these lines, mga kapatid. Ang sabi dito, and when the energy they had so recklessly used is demanded, they fail for want of it. Their time of need has come, but their physical resources are exhausted. So, ibig sabihin mga kapatid, sa ating binasa, if our vital energy is being recklessly used, it is wasted and squandered, resulted to physical exhaustion. So, our physical body suffers na hindi na po kaya na mag-function ang ibang bahagi ng ating mga organs because of our violation to the physical law. So, pag ganyan ang mangyari, mga kapatid, our life is in danger. So, ang gagawin ng ating body system, especially the brain, which is the controlling center of the body, is to release a vital force in order to sustain life. So, mga kapatid, dahil kung hindi yan gagawin ng ating body system, mamamatay po yung tao. Let us remember that the vital force is our life energy. It's a life force being withdrawn. Parang katulad sa isang battery, mga kapatid. Pag na-lowbat na, wala ng power. So, kaya ang mangyari ay mamatay na po yung ating mga gadgets, ang ating mga cellphone. But, okay lang po yung battery pag malowbat ay pwedeng ma-recharge. But, the vital force, once depleted, ay hindi na po yan maibabalik. It can be decreased by withdrawal, but it cannot be increased by deposit. Kahit po yung battery, pag hindi po natin ginamit sa tamang paraan, ito po ay madaling masira. So, in order to sustain life, para po patuloy pa na mabuhay yung tao na nag-abuso ng kaniyang katawan, since his present energy is already exhausted because of the violation of the physical law, ang gagawin ng ating system is to borrow some energy deposited intended for the future use. But our body withdrew it in advance just to meet the terrible emergency, just to sustain life, mga kapatid. Para po patuloy na mabuhay yung tao. Kung hindi yan gagawin ng ating system, mamamatay na po tayo dahil sa ating ginawa na pag-abuso sa ating katawan. So because of our faulty lifestyle, mga kapatid, there is a constant withdrawal of the vital force. As the vital force deposit decreases, our life expectancy also decreases. In short, it shortens our lifespan. Pinaiksi rin po ang ating buhay. So, instead na mabuhay pa po sana tayo mga kapatid ng 70 years old, katulad ng promise ng Panginoon from the time of David, or kung tayo po ay careful sa ating health, ay baka mabuhay pa po tayo ng 100 years para po makakuha tayo ng award, the Centenarian Award, na I think 100,000 binibigay ng government sa mga taong nakaabot ng 100 years old dito po sa Pinas. So, furthermore, mga kapatid, ang sabi dito, the violation of physical law with its consequent suffering, has so long prevailed that the terrible results of such violation are now regarded as the appointed lot of humanity. God is not pleased to have this suffering exist. This is not His work. It is the work of man. Review and Herald, November 12, 1901. So, meaning mga kapatid, life is not a matter of chance. It is a choice. Yung belief ng mga matatanda noon ay pag mamatay yung tao, ay iyon po dahil ay hanggang doon na lang ang haba ng kanilang kandila. Mga kapatid. So anyway, kung gamitin nating ilustrasyon itong kasabihan ng mga matatanda, still ating maintindihan kung ano po yung tama, mga kapatid. Kung abusuhin mo yung pagpailaw ng kandila, non-stop, kahit umaga at gabi, patuloy itong umiilaw, mga kapatid, of course, ito po ay madaling maubos. Pero kung tama ang paggamit nito at matipid ang paggamit mo ng iyong kandila, syempre medyo may katagalan rin bago po ito maubos. So in short, mga kapatid, ang kandila po, kahit tipirin mo pa o yung paggamit mo ay abuso, mga kapatid, ay talagang darating ang panahon na ito po ay talagang maubos rin. So, ibig sabihin, mga kapatid, ay talagang lahat po tayo ay mamamatay rin. That is already the lot of humanity. Pero, ang pinagkaiba lang dito, mga kapatid, ay, of course, it is worth living naman na mabuhay na walang sakit. Diba, mga kapatid? Oh, healthy and full of years. Katulad po ng sinabi sa Biblia na yung mga patriarka noon, they died in old age and full of years. So, yan mga kapatid, no? Rather than to die in pain and an immature death. The world is dying, mga kapatid. Mayroon kaming neighbor noon na mayroong cancer. Araw-gabi ay aming marinig, aming kapitbahay, ang kanyang sigaw sa sakit, ang kanyang pagtitiis. So, yan mga kapatid. Pero, there is a difference pag tayo po ay careful rin sa ating katawan. Katulad po, naalala ko yung lolo ng aking asawa, no? Si Pastor Ventura. Ang kanyang lolo po ay ipinanganak noong 1900, mga kapatid. At namatay siya noong 2007 at the age of 107 years old, mga kapatid. So, aking naalala noong buhay pa siya, mga kapatid. At hindi pa namin alam yung principle of the loss of health, no? Na aking dadalhin ngayong umaga na gusto kong i-share sa inyo, ay pinadalhan siya namin sa kanyang bahay kubo ng buko salad, mga kapatid. At pagbigay sa kanya ni Papa ng buko salad, ang sabi niya ay, Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa iyong biyaya na yung aking apo na si Riniboy ay iyong pinagpala. At nakakita siya ng mabuting trabaho at mayroon siyang sweldo. Kaya nakatikim ako ng kanyang masarap na niluto na pagkain. At nang tinikman ng matanda yung buko salad, mga kapatid, sabi niya kay Papa, Yawaning, initin mo naman itong dinala mo na pagkain kasi napakalamig. So, doon po, mga kapatid, aking naintindihan kung bakit yung matanda ay nakaabot ng edad na 107 dahil po sa kanyang lifestyle. So with this reason, mga kapatid, we are going to discuss some factors that cause the depletion of the vital force that somehow helps even a little in prolonging our lifespan. So today's topic, we are going to tackle one of the factors, and that is the frozen treats. Ang sabi dito, sa Ministry of Healing, page 305. The vital force depleted by cold food. Wrong conditions of eating. Food should not be eaten very hot or very cold. If food is cold, the vital force of the stomach is drawn upon in order to warm it before digestion can take place. Cold drinks are injurious for the same reason, while the free use of hot drinks is debilitating. The Ministry of Healing, page 305. I do not approve of eating much cold food for the reason that the vitality must be drawn upon the system to warm the food until it becomes of the same temperature as the stomach before the work of digestion can be carried on. Testimonies for the Church, 2:603. So, with this, mga kapatid, ating maintindihan sa ating binasa na ang kailangan po ng ating tiyan na pagkain is warm, maligamgam. Ayaw na ayaw po ng ating tiyan ng cold food, or in other term, ito po ay tinatawag na frozen treats. So, kaya kung lalagyan natin ng frozen treats ang ating mga tiyan, mga kapatid, ang mangyari ay painitin muna ng ating system yung mga nilagay nating mga ice buko, ice cream, or halo-halo before the stomach do his duty or will start to do his work on digestion. So mga kapatid, mabuti po sana kung mayroong puspro or lighter ang ating mga tiyan, ay hindi po siya mahirapan sa pagpainit ng anumang malamig na bagay na ipinasok natin sa ating mga tiyan. Ang sabi dito sa Healthy Living 163, food should not be washed down. No drink is needed with meals. The more liquid there is taken into the stomach with meals, the more difficult it is for the food to digest. For the liquid must first be absorbed. So, kung atin tingnan, mga kapatid, no, ang sabi sa Healthy Living, pure, clear water is all that nature requires. So, anong tubig, mga kapatid? Water can be used in many ways to relieve suffering, drafts of water, of clear hot water, taken before eating, half a quart, more or less, will never do any harm, but will rather be productive of good. So, kaya po mga kapatid, ang binibigay na counsel sa taong may karamdaman o may sakit ay mag-inom siya ng hot water before eating, mga kapatid. So, kaya ang sabi dito sa Healthy Living, patuloy nating basahin sa page 163, taken with meals, water diminishes the flow of the salivary glands, and the colder the water, the greater the injury to the stomach. So, ito po ang ating punto na gustong dadalhin ngayong umaga, mga kapatid. No? Na ang malamig na tubig ay nagbibigay ng sira sa ating tiyan, mga kapatid. So, pero yung iba, no, aking marinig, ang sabi nila na hindi naman kami umiinom ng tubig pagkatapos kumain. No? Yes, and that is correct, mga kapatid. Dahil, ayon po sa counsel, na yung ideal na pag-inom ng tubig is 30 minutes before eating and 2 to 3 hours after eating bago po tayo uminom ng tubig. So, mga kapatid, and that is a good practice. Pero, mga kapatid, ang nakakatawa dito minsan ay sinunod natin yung isang principle but ay ating gin-violate naman yung isang principle po, mga kapatid. Dahil minsan, mga kapatid, hindi man tayo umiinom ng tubig, pero sa panahon ng pagkain ay napakaraming mga soup. Ay grabe naman po ang ating pag-intake ng soup, mga kapatid, at umiinom naman tayo ng mga juices. At ito po ay mas sobra pang dami sa ating mga tiyan because most of the juices, mga kapatid, na ating ginagawa ay nilalagyan po talaga yan ng ice o yellow, mga kapatid. Ang sabi dito sa Healthy Living 163, ice water or ice lemonade drunk with meals will arrest digestion until the system has imparted sufficient warmth to the stomach to enable it to take up its work again. Wow, nako mga kapatid, ay hindi po tayo iinom ng tubig kung hindi malamig. Yan po, mga kapatid, yung trending ngayon, panahon. So, hindi po makapagtrabaho yung ating tiyan ng kanyang obligasyon dahil nanginginig po siya sa lamig. Let us compare our stomach to our hands, mga kapatid. Ang sabi dito, applying ice to hands can temporarily reduce nerve activity. Excessive or prolonged use can lead to nerve damage, frostbite, or frost nip. Frostbite or frost nip. Prolonged exposure to extreme cold can damage tissues leading to frostbite or the milder form, frost nip. Nerve damage. Excessive cold can also damage nerves themselves. Ice burn Applying ice directly to the skin or for too long can cause an ice burn characterized by numbness, tingling, pain, and blisters. So, ibig sabihin mga kapatid, kung iyan po ang nangyayari sa ating kamay, na masabi nga natin na yung ating balat sa kamay ay mas makapal, no, compare sa ating tiyan, lalong-lalo na po kung yung ating kamay ay puno ng kalyo, ay talagang makapal po yan. Pero mga kapatid, let us think about this, na kung ito po ang nangyayari sa kamay sa sobrang lamig, how much more po ang epekto ng malamig o icy food, masabi nating cold food or frozen treats, mga kapatid, kung ipasok natin ito sa ating mga tiyan. At ang ating tiyan, mga kapatid, ay mas delicate po ang kanyang mga tissues and parts compare po sa ating mga kamay. Ang sabi dito sa Healthy Living, page 48, they eat improperly, and this calls their nervous energies to the stomach, and they have no vitality to expend in other directions. The stomach is closely related to the brain, and when the stomach is diseased, the nerve power is called from the brain to the aid of the weakened digestive organs. When these demands are too frequent, the brain becomes congested. Ministry of Healing, page 306. So, mga kapatid, if we are fond of eating this kind of cold food every day, there is a constant withdrawal of the vital force upon the brain. The stomach will send signal to the brain na hihingi ng tulong. Kung makapagsalita lang po yung ating mga tiyan, siguro mga kapatid, sabihin niya, tulungan niyo ako. Ay, nanginginig siya sa lamig. Hindi siya makagalaw dahil, ang sabi kanina, there is effect of numbness and temporarily paralyze the nerve, mga kapatid, of our stomach. So, kaya ang gagawin, mga kapatid, ng ating body system ay as an emergency response, mag-release po ng vital force yung nervous system to rescue or aid the stomach. At when the stomach is sick, all parts of the body is affected. Kaya ang sabi dito kanina sa ating binasa na they eat improperly, and this calls their nervous energies to the stomach, and they have no vitality to expend in other directions. So yung focus po ng ating body system ay nandoon na po sa tiyan, na kanilang tulungan ang tiyan na makarecover because of the violation na ginawa sa kanya ng tao. So, ang sabi dito, the stomach is closely related to the brain. And when the stomach is diseased, the nerve power is called from the brain to aid of the weakened digestive organs. When these demands are too frequent, the brain becomes congested. So, iyan po ang ibig sabihin, the brain becomes congested. Ay grabe po yung pag-release ng vital force from the brain just to aid the stomach, just to meet the emergency, mga kapatid. Dahil kung hindi yan gagawin, mamatay po yung tao dahil sa kanyang pag-abuso ng kanyang tiyan. So, daily, our vital force depleted. Bata pa po tayo sa edad, mga kapatid, ay marami na tayong karamdaman. Mahina na ang ating pangtunaw at napakarami ng mga sakit ang ating mararamdaman sa ating katawan. Kaya mga kapatid, itinagubilin talaga ni Apostle Paul na we need to be temperate in all things. Temperance is the total abstinence of which is bad and moderate intake of which is good. So if we continue eating food that is bad for the health, we violate the principle of temperance written in the Bible. And an intemperate living by indulgence of appetite and lustful passion greatly weakens the vital forces, mga kapatid. The food after this kind, cold food, icy food, or frozen treats, ano man po ang tawag dyan, that we consider as a special treat during special occasion, special day, mga kapatid, is truly a threat to our own existence. So, today's gentle reminder para sa ating lahat, mga kapatid, we need to remember that we eat in order to live, not to live in order to eat. This is the purpose of our existence, mga kapatid. We eat just to sustain life, mga kapatid, that we may live a healthy and happy life for the service of the King and our Savior and Lord Jesus Christ, and for the service of our fellow men. Kaya po, mga kapatid, we need to think always that whatsoever we eat, or whatsoever we drink, or whatsoever we do, we glorify God in our body, which is His. So, this is all for today, mga kapatid. We are going to tackle another important topic that we really need to know, mga kapatid. This is a very important matter in order for us to preserve life. For this is one of the major factors that contribute to the exhaustion of the vital force. And this is what we consider as the
legal but forbidden.
Interested to know about this topic? Just follow us here in our Facebook account and subscribe and be notified with our YouTube channel, The Young Voices Values Education, Music and Health Expo. Thank you very much for joining us here in our program, The Vital Force. See you again next time. God bless.